something stronger than all the armies in the world put together, and that is an idea whose time has come. Idea perhaps is stronger than all the weapons put together. Hello and a very warm welcome viewers. You're watching this special presentation of Sansad TV, The Journey of Startups. And in this edition, we'll hear the story of nutrition startup, AlaMirap. Motherhood and entrepreneurship have a lot in common. Both are under constant pressure to inspire, motivate, and innovate. If you haven't figured it out yet, mompreneurs are mothers who choose to start up a business while bringing up their children. Meet Parimala. She was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic in 1994 when her youngest son was hardly 2 years old. With her vision of 3 E's, encouraging, educating, and empowering, she launched her startup, AlaMirap. The startup reverse engineers your lifestyle to its best version. While most fitness programs directly begin with a predefined diet chart that tosses the possibility of fitting your body and lifestyle, with AlaMirap, everything starts from a blood test and a comprehensive study of the results. Parimala has conducted several studies from American Diabetes Association. After igniting a wellness revolution over the span of 3 years, Parimala today is busy taking AlaMirap to the next level and a wider segment of population. So we are in this comfortable office of the startup in Bengaluru, and joining us are the founders of the startup, Parimala ji and Guru. Welcome to Sansad TV and thank you so much for joining us. This is a very comfortable, organic, cozy office. As you're talking about nature, you're talking about nutrition. But before I talk about the idea of your startup, tell me about the genesis of this name, AlaMirap.
Name is something which is so very intricately associated with whatever we do. So when we are born, our parents name us with so much of things. We don't get to choose. But you know, as a startup, you get the opportunity to choose. And yes, the entire idea, the foundation for this health and wellness company is based on the name. It is my name, Parimala, in reverse, in English, which is AlaMirap.
Okay.
The reason being, any human being in this world, we firmly believe, can reverse their way back to better health and wellness. You can be any age. You can be of any health status. You come here, we will help you reverse it back.
Oh, fantastic. But also, Guru, this is the first time that I have the founders, mother and son on this show.
Really? That's good.
So, yeah, how is it working like together, and she being your mother and son? There are differences of opinion, how you look at things. How do the two of you get together on a point of view?
Okay, so the first thing you should know is when I was born, she was just 18 years old.
Okay.
So instead of me being a son, we're more like friends, right? And I feel like I'm the parent sometimes because she's the excitable, let's go and chase after our dreams. And I'm like the more logical, calm, like, please just take a week.
Okay.
Think about it before you plunge into this madness of yours. But working together has never worked for us.
Yeah.
Every day that I'm here, it feels like we're making a difference in society. So it's almost rejuvenating, I don't need to go back home and sleep or do something to get more energy. Coming and working here gives me the energy. So it's an excellent atmosphere, as you can see, and we're making a difference in people's lives together. So I think that's the best thing you can do.
Again, before I go to the idea, Parimala ji, startup at 49?
Yeah.
Talking about young India and all of that. But this is equally inspiring when you thought of this idea when you were approximately 50.
Yes.
How did people perceive it?
As usual, my kids are always my champions. So here we have one director, my elder son. My younger son is also a part of the company. And as he rightly said, there is never a stoppage to what you want in life, and that's my firm belief. And at 49, as you're reaching your middle age or half a century, you start realizing all the big thoughts. What am I doing? Where's my life going? I realized for almost 30 years, 35 years, life has been, the main focus has been only family and kids. And it was a choice which I made. And I'm very happy with the choice. But then I also wanted a legacy other than what my kids would do. You know, for being born as a human. And what better than health?
What better than health? So exactly that was my next question. That how did you narrow down on this particular idea? How was the journey?
When you're touched with something very personal, I think that's the time the best in you comes out.
Exactly.
And many a times we don't know why certain things happen in life. So at the very young age of 24, as usual, I seem to be a pioneer in my home, in my family for everything. I eloped and got married when I was hardly 15, 16. So yes, the first person there. Similarly, by the time I was 24, I was diagnosed as a type 2 diabetic with no family history and nothing. And doctors at that time, now it's almost 30 years. So doctors at that time said it could be stress induced, and at that point of time, I never understood why I became a diabetic. So as usual, you know, the first reaction is to blame God. I've not done anything, and my kids were so small. My younger kid was just 2 years old. So I think the onus to stay healthy for the sake of my family was so strong. And when that backbone to be healthy, because I know the kids are too small, you know, as a mom, I didn't want to be a liability to them. So I started understanding, started researching, and started trying to analyze, work out how do I keep my diabetes under control.
Right.
And through this journey, Kriti, of almost like 25 years, 26 years, unfortunately, many people in and around our family circle, friend circle, died due to a lot of diabetic complications.
Okay.
So now this was a big question mark. Every diabetic, are we supposed to, like within 10 years or 15 years, undergo amputations, come up with secondary complications like kidney failure, your heart failure? Why? What can we do? So luckily, I've been fortunate to meet up with very good doctors. So when I used to sit and discuss with them, the importance of nutrition was something which was not focused on. Most of the time, once we are diagnosed with a disease, we are only into treating the disease, the root cause. How do we reverse it? How do we get it back into remission? Was not concentrated upon in nutrition.
Makes sense.
So I think that set this journey to understand more about nutrition, to understand what I can do, and I have been my first subject to experiment. So every single thing today, when I put it out into the universe, when I share it with my clients, it's been tried, done, tested over me and my cute little friend circle, whoever are diabetic, their parents. So before we came out, you know, before it was a startup and came out, we have always understood the value of nutrition, worked towards it, and I think that is the reason for this.
So Guru, how do you offer these services?
The services, the first thing that we had in mind, right? When you start a business, who is your clients?
Yes.
Who are you catering your services to? So we could aim at the 1%ers, have a very high-end, you know, service which not everyone can afford. But that's not my mom. My mom is all about helping people, and from a young age, that's her very personality. Like if she has 10 friends, all 10 of them will say, "Oh my God, you at that point in my in my life when I was at my lowest, you were there for me." Everyone, every single one will say. So she's that sort of a person who wants to be there for people when they're low. And when is your lowest point? When you've lost your health. It's the worst thing that can happen to a person, right? Everything is good. You're happy, but all the money in the world, all the name, fame, no health.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that is your lowest point, and that is when she steps in, right? So our target clients are everyone. So we never priced ourselves out of even the lowest earning strata of society. They should be able to afford it if they want to be healthy, and they are a daily wage laborer who's earning 100 rupees a month. They should be able to afford our service.
Okay.
So we planned a way where we offer something very tangible from starting from 5,000 rupees, and we take it up from there, depending on what your needs are. But everyone should be able to afford it, because health is something that should not be only for the rich. You know, it should be for everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that is one of our key aspects for the company, is to be able to help everyone.
So then market validation is a difficult part, particularly in this space where people perhaps are not really concerned or aware about their health and the requirements. So then how did you go out, convince people? How did you find your clients?
I think here the power of social media has completely helped us. As a startup, we are a bootstrapped company, so we didn't have money to advertise or have hoardings or go onto television. But when we started churning out every single day content which adds value to people, where we brought about the awareness, because what you told is so right. People don't realize something as simple as what is the minimum age that they have to go for a master checkup.
Exactly.
It's there in their mind, oh, somewhere past their 50s, you have to go for a master checkup. So we had so many awareness videos, and we had a lot of webinars. So people, they just wanted to check. Okay, what is she saying? So can I try this? And when they tried, they found that their parameters were a little haywire. Then they started becoming more aware. So the first thing, as you rightly pointed out, is creating awareness in public that, you know, treating a disease is not the end result. Why wait till there? Start early. So we also have initiatives where we approach schools, we approach colleges, we cater, we teach young moms right from the time they are carrying how to take care of themselves. All this is through everyday small bits of content, because if your content is lengthy, people are not going to watch it.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. So were they receptive, Guru?
Very receptive. It was eye-opening how much people want to do something if they know how to do it. The problem is, a lot of us have false information. You have to drink 4 liters of water a day. Fine. How do you drink that water? We don't know. So we have people.
How do you drink that water?
We have people gulping 1 liter at a time.
Yes.
No point.
I do that.
Your body is not accepting that water.
Okay.
You have to space yourself throughout the day. Have sips of water or glasses of water throughout the day. That's the only way you can hydrate yourselves. People don't know that. When you're drinking alcohol, don't eat meat, just have cucumber. Not true. Every body is different. When you put the sensor that we specialize in, Glam Diet specializes in, there are different kinds of drinks that work better for your body with protein. So having your chicken kebab actually is good for you instead of having cucumber. So it's lack of knowledge rather than lack of interest in bettering oneself. Everyone wants to better themselves, they just don't know how. And now the problem is too much information. It's not less.
Yes.
You go on YouTube, there's 500 different diets. Like, what are you going to follow? What suits your body?
Exactly.
So it's no longer not having enough information. It's having too much and knowing what to follow. That's where she comes in. That's where our company comes in, where we guide you based on scientific process, what is best for you. It won't be the same for your wife or your father. Even though you live in the same house, what's good for you won't be good for them. Every single body, every single metabolism, different. So it has to be tailor-made for you. So that's where, you know, we have found such success that every one of our clients has got the results, whatever it is, weight loss, weight gain, thyroid problems, you know, like stress of the highest order, because of, you know, the kind of world we live in, right? High stress, high cortisol, you gain weight, you lose muscle, a lot of problems. So it's a holistic process where we never say, we'll give you one diet, do this, you lose weight. No. She's like a counselor, she's a nutritionist, she's your friend, and that's the only way it'll work. You know, change is it's not easy.
Right, but you talked about tailor-made diet.
Yeah.
Ma'am, allow me to differ. Doesn't that become a very class-oriented service that you're offering?
So when we talk about tailor-made and we have more number of people, then how do you establish that? This is what we did in a study. I handpicked a village called Timasandra village, which is a few kilometers from Bangalore. And as a person, if I have to change the entire village, it's going to be very tough. So what I did, we handpicked the local influences within the village of different age groups. So I had a senior grandpa, I had a lady who is a petty shop owner who really talks to people. So with these people and the villagers, we trained these so-called local influencers about how do they bring about healthy changes within that parameter. Because every village, even in Karnataka, different villages have different sort of foods. So based there, what is their availability? So when we trained these influencers, they took forward what I have. So it just went that way. Now the entire village is eating better. The entire village is more aware. They know that they don't have to spend money. And something which I'm very proud to state is AlaMirap Nutrition, perhaps in this entire world, could be the one nutrition company which definitely works on your nutrition plan based on the client's financial status. So when they come in, so we try to understand what is their financial status, and based on that we give the diet plans. There are people who can't even afford an egg per day.
Exactly.
I can't give them almonds and say, okay, have 10 soaked almonds per day.
Absolutely.
So what we do, we identify where they are, what is feasible for them financially, and teach them to eat within. What do you grow? You grow, we have a lot of greens which we grow in our gardens. Every villager seems to have that. They have so many beans, green beans growing on their walls. They use that. So this is how we do it. So handpick a small circle, guide them, so they take the message forward to the rest.
But Guru, how does that make economic sense for you?
It does make economic sense because we have got our clients from word of mouth. We've got one client who comes in skeptical. 3 months later, they go out and get us 25 clients. We don't have to do anything. Give the best service possible to this one person. So our mouthpiece, because of social media, it's not just that one person. He puts a post on saying, AlaMirap Nutrition changed my life. I have reversed an 80-year-old man on insulin, goes off insulin, comes back to tablets. It's possible. And he puts it up on social media. He puts it up, he shares it among his friends. We have calls and clients coming in and they're like, oh, 6 months ago you had this person who came, he said. So it's, yes, you can make money in the short term by, boosting out your publicity and just getting a huge number of people. We work a bit different, We feel like if you do quality service and consistently do it, you have a huge collection of people who are out there promoting you because they had a good time, they got different. So, why should you then go for a shortcut method of trying to get as much money from a client as possible when you can give them as much quality as possible and have them get you more clients, right? So we just look at it a little differently. It might be slower, it might take longer, it's fine, we're patient. It's not about because we're doing it ourselves, so there's no timeline. It's just helping as many people as possible.
All right, but Parimala ji, when you started this company, now today you have a very lengthy list of clients, celebrities as well. Yeah. But tell me, what were the biggest challenges when you actually commenced this?
The methodology of diet counseling was something which was unheard of. People did not know that there is something called continuous glucose monitoring, which completely identifies what's happening in your body. There's an instrument which we just apply on your arm. It is there for almost 2 weeks. We get 1,400 blood glucose readings. And when I told them, we do these changes completely based on what's happening, this is something unheard of somewhere in 2016-17. So that was the first challenge. The second challenge was, people were like very worried because they've not heard this, they've not seen this. And for me, the biggest challenge was there was no blueprint for me to follow. Nobody else had done it. So what we did, this entire process of understanding is a copyrighted diet process, very proud of that. First of its kind in the world, called GLAM diet. The word is very glamorous. Actually, it is glucose level assisted monitoring diet. Okay. So we are using the latest in technology, and we are also using all our ancient wisdom. So when both combine and we go into the roots of the clients, we don't uproot you. We just ensure that we add a lot of value to wherever you're growing, because one surefire way that your diet is completely going to go haywire is when I try to uproot you and give you something different. Right. So lessons learned, always stick to what your clients are most comfortable with, work with their lifestyle. bring about a change, getting technology and whatever they're used to. Ensure that if somebody comes to me for 3 months, they are with us with AlaMirap Nutrition for 3 months, I can give in writing for the next 30 years they're sorted out. That much of information and value we can add to their lives.
All right. So before we end this conversation, tell me, there are many more people who, and women specifically, who want to venture in this particular field, nutrition startup. Guru, I'll give her the last word.
Yes.
So before that, what is your advice to them?
Just do it. You know, we have a problem. If it's a 100-step plan that you have, you're already worried about step 100. Take the first step. My mum, with all her potential, I kept telling her, do something with your potential. And she was worried about the step 10, there will be a problem there. What about 25? What about step 100? Take the first step and follow your passion, and you can do whatever it is that you set your mind to. It's that simple. Just take this first step.
Parimala ji, is it that simple?
As a woman, I think, and surrounded with people around, I realized I lived more in my mind. All the problems were there in my mind. And so many of my juniors have all reached high positions when I took a back seat for the sake of family. So again, to re-step, there was a lot of lack of confidence in me. And then I see all my juniors, you know, they so hi-fi, and like, I'm like, oh God, how do I compete? And when you say startups, it's all youngsters, hi-fi words. I'm like, oh God, I wasn't even active on Facebook when I started my company. I didn't know what a friend request is, what to accept and what to send. I was such a novice. But one thing, you know, why do they call women, you know, or this Shakti? You know, when they show women, they show 100 hands around.
yes.
Because we are capable. It's just that we need somebody to help push that first step. And today I regret. I should have done this a decade back. But it's okay, better late than never. So anybody out there with a doubt in your mind, you know, just remember, at 49, at 50 when I could start, anyone younger than this, you are starting way ahead of me. Don't stop yourself. What comes, let's face it later.
All right, so don't stop yourself.
Yes.
But fantastic talking to you, both of you, and all the very best
Thank
for
you so
all your
much.
future endeavors and
Thank
for
you.
your company.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, viewers, that's all we had for you in this edition of The Journey of Startups. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Namaskar and goodbye for now.